So let's talk a little bit about the difference in beauty standards, like plastic
Yes.
surgery.
Yes, the plastic surgery in Korea, I mean, I look at some of those before and afters and wow, they are so dramatic.
It's like a whole new person.
It's like a whole new person. The after, it doesn't even. Welcome to the More Than a Pretty Face podcast, where we go more than just skin deep to explore the science of beauty so you can look and feel your best at any age. I'm Dr. AziMD Skincare, a board certified dermatologist and your host. And today I'm here with my co host, Nurse Lacie. How are
I
you?
am
Oh,
doing
Jinx, we're talking at the same time. How's it
I'm just so
going?
excited about this episode today. I'm doing great.
I
It's
hear we're
Monday.
going worldwide.
We are going worldwide today talking about all of the medical aesthetic treatments, trends, ingredients, and I'm super excited to get started on this.
Yes. So do you have a beauty or blemish for this episode?
I do. I have a blemish. Have you ever been to the rodeo?
No, but I
Okay.
want to go just because I like dressing Western. Like I
Yeah.
want to wear a cowboy boot and like cowboy hat just for the
Yeah.
fashion.
Yes, yes, that's same.
But the boys are cute too, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes.
So my husband was super excited. He's never been to a rodeo, and it would
Oh,
be Remy's first time too. And so he went all out. He outfits. Remy is gonna be
nice.
adorable. I can't wait to show pictures. And we get out the door. We're headed Saturday to the rodeo, and he puts in the address and maps, and it says closed. And he was like, "Hey, can you check the tickets and just confirm that it's today?" And I'm like, "I would love to." I pull it up. It was not for the
Did you
day.
miss it?
No,
Oh,
thankfully.
thankfully.
But we still got ready. We were
Yeah.
all dolled up. We were ready to go
You took
out,
pictures?
and we didn't. We took one picture, one family
Oh.
picture, but yeah, he's like, "We'll redo it." Great. So that's my blemish.
Oh, well, it
Like,
could have been worse,
have
I
you ever gotten
guess.
dolled up to go out and then it's like,
All the
no,
time.
and then
No,
it's
not
just
all
a
the time.
fail?
Rodeo fail.
Rodeo fail. So, how about you? Beauty or blemish?
I have a beauty. So my mom turned 70 this year and she's always
Ah!
wanted to go to Paris. So I decided to take her for her birthday
Oh,
to
I love
Paris
her.
along with my daughter who's 15. So it was three generation girls trip. My
Aw.
mom, 70, me, and my daughter. It was quite interesting. My daughter, the thing she was most excited about is going to a club
Of
in
course.
Paris. Okay. And she was like, Mom, we got to go to a club.
15.
I was like, yeah, we definitely have to go to a club. And she's like, Mom, you have to be 18 to get in. Should I get a fake ID? I know this guy. I'm like, whoa, wait. You know a guy who makes fake IDs. No, I think you're good, honey. You don't need
Yeah.
a fake ID. So we go the whole time. She's so worried about getting in and this
Aw.
and that because she didn't have an A. I'm like, I think we'll be fine. Between me and your grandmother, they're gonna be like, come on
Come
in.
on in. You're
So
supervised.
yeah, we did end up going to a club and
Oh
it
my
was very, very
gosh.
fun, except that she was tired. She was like, okay, I'm done.
Really? Aw,
I'm
I'm
ready to go home.
surprised. I would think
But
she'd wanna stay out longer.
speaking of worldwide and beauty trends, I got a chance to go to the pharmacy
Oh, fun.
in France, in Paris. And, I was really surprised to find some of the things that are prescriptions
Mhm,
here, like
mhm.
Beafine, you could just get over the counter at such an affordable cost.
Really?
Like Beafine, as I mentioned, is something dermatologists love for wound healing. So if you're ever going to travel to Europe, check it out. They have one of the best sunscreens there, UV filters that are approved in Asia. I know we're talking about K beauty, but a lot of the UV filters are not yet approved in the US. I feel like we are so behind
Behind. Mhm.
the sunscreens and we look at the SPF ratings in sunscreens, but that really only tells you about the UVB rays, which are the sunburn rays or the rays that cause cancer. But then there are the UVA rays and visible light that there's really no ratings for in the US. Whereas in, Korea or the Asian markets or the European markets, they actually have a rating called PA and
Oh,
it
interesting.
has like plus signs on it depending on how much protection it's going to give you.
Mhm.
There might be like 2 pluses or all the way up to 6 pluses. So
Wow.
the UV filters there are definitely worth looking into buying. One of them being Mexeril, which is a chemical filter, but it has one of the broadest ranges of protection. So when we're talking about skin aging, pigmentation, broken capillaries,
Mhm.
fine lines, those are all caused by UVA rays, which penetrate the skin much, much deeper. And so I stocked up on some sunscreen from
Ooh.
there. And yeah, and so it was cool to kind of go in and see what they have.
I'm interested. Did you check out the super popular, super big influencer, market for I think it's like A313?
Yes, that
What are your
is
thoughts?
so overhyped
Of
all
course.
over TikTok. First of all, it's a retinol ester, so it has 3 retinol esters like retinol palmitate, and they don't really, have the same effects. They don't help with, boosting collagen, helping with discoloration because they don't bind to the same receptors. It has to undergo a 3-step conversion to become active. So at best, it's like a mild antioxidant. So it's truly
Interesting.
not a retinol. And people are like,
Mhm.
oh, this is so great because it
Right.
doesn't cause dryness, it
Yeah.
doesn't cause peeling. Yeah, because it's not a true, retinol per se. It's like a vitamin A derivative.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's bad, okay, but
It's
I'm
just not doing
saying, yeah,
much.
it's being a little overhyped. So if it was me, I would go with a retinol or even a prescription tretinoin. That's when you're really going to see the changes at the cellular level in terms of, increased collagen, hyaluronic acid, and, helping with discoloration and so forth. So I would say
Interesting.
overhyped. But if
Okay.
you're interested, you can go to my Instagram. I have a couple of videos of me visiting the French pharmacy and kind of get an idea of what some of my favorite picks were as a dermatologist.
Awesome. Well, before we get started, to our amazing listeners, we want to show you some love. So, we're offering an exclusive 15% off all of the products on AziMD Skincare.com. And so make sure you're listening to later on in the episode to get that code for your discount.
All right. So let's jump into K Beauty,
Yes,
which
dying to
is
talk about K beauty. It's everywhere.
it's everywhere. And, the Asian markets, they really emphasize skincare and, taking care of yourself. They are
Mhm.
really into, these long baths and these elaborate, skincare routines. And they use some of the ingredients that I feel like we've started to, adopt and use. And speaking of K beauty, when I brought in Hydrotemp BB, it was
Mhm.
actually inspired by a K Beauty sunscreen that came in a mousse. And, speaking of BB cream, that was started in the Korean markets. BB stood for blemish bombs. And when it hit the US, we turned it into beauty bombs. And it was
Oh.
designed as not only to offer you sun protection, but also to give you coverage and
Yes.
almost be like a primer or something you would put on before your makeup.
Mhm.
And so there was this product, I used to buy it on Amazon, but it came as a mousse and it would really give you this coating that would give your skin a skin like a filter like appearance, which is how the BB cream came
Yes.
into Aussie MD
I
Skincare.
remember when you had that mousse.
Yeah, so a lot of them have that zinc base,
Mhm.
which gives you almost this coating that helps with, coverage and just, smoothing the skin before you put your foundation on.
Yes, I'm wearing BB cream right now.
Yes, and I is that's all I have on today because I forgot to wear foundation today because I was trying to test out this K Beauty mask, and I know we've talked about it before in our melasma episode,
Yes.
where they make a product that is like a sheet you put
Yeah,
on.
it's supposed to,
It's
like,
an
protect you from the sun.
invisible sheet that has UVA protection.
Mhm.
And like we talked about, that's one of the biggest contributors to hyperpigmentation. And so I was trying on this thing and
And
it was
tell us.
kind of a fail.
Oh, I was gonna say, tell us your thoughts. What do you
I
think?
was really excited to try it. Well, first of all, I brought it. Do you want to give it to me and I'll show you because I really want to show you the package. The whole thing is in Korean. Okay, I thought I brought this packet with me, but anyway, I was trying it on and the whole thing is in Korean, I guess. And so I had to
S
actually Google a video to figure it out. But you put it on, it looks like Tegaderm, the
Yeah.
waterproof dressing. It's like this film, and I guess you can't wear makeup over it.
Yeah, you thought you could.
I thought you could,
Yeah.
but you could totally see it.
Oh.
They say it's an invisible patch, but
Was it, like, hard to get on? Did it leave ripples?
it leaves a little bit of ripples, and then it kinda makes your skin look kinda, like, wrinkly. Plus, I just got back from Vegas, so my skin is super dry, and so maybe
Mm.
that was the issue, but I'm gonna post a video of my review on my Instagram, so stay tuned or go watch that. I think
Yeah.
I posted it on today. Let's talk about some of the popular
Yes,
ingredients
please.
in K-beauty.
Can we talk about, like, the most popular that I've seen? The snail mucin?
Yes, which
Please. I
is
need your thoughts.
extracted from the snails. And all these snails, there's different snails and they all have different types of secretions, but
So gross
it
when
was
you
actually originated in Chile from these snail farms that people would work in.
mm.
And they noticed their hands to be really soft by handling these snails. So they said, maybe
We
we
just
should
rub it
also
all over
just
our body.
collect these secretions of all these snails and make it into, a serum.
I'm not gonna lie, when you say secretions, it really just ugh.
Oh, did you ever have a snail farm when you were a kid?
No.
I did.
What?
See, my
In
love
Kentucky?
of K-beauty from the start
You had snails in
in
Kentucky?
Iran, actually, when I was, like, little,
Oh,
like
okay.
6 years old, before I moved to the States, but, that's I would go around and collect snails, and I would make them homes, and then I would, like, keep them. I was always into projects, can you
Yes, I
tell?
am very aware.
Always been a project person, so I had a project snail, and so at the time, I didn't realize that I was, bathing in these hydrating, secretions. So
Bathing in
the
it?
so the snail mucin is rich in glycoproteins, hyaluronic acid, glycolic acid, which is a great
Yeah,
exfoliator and skin humectant, helps hydrate the skin. But it also has zinc, which is anti-inflammatory, and it has allantoin, which is great for healing.
I
So
didn't know
it's
there was so much in it.
so much in
Okay.
it. People swear by it. They really love snail mucin for their skin. And, I think they're onto something. Although there's not a ton of studies, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that it's not beneficial. I think the most popular brand right now is the Coast RX snail mucin. I think it's a good one to do.
Would you
It's
try it?
Yeah, I would try it. I would
Yeah,
I would put on damp skin because it has hyaluronic acid, and then you can use your moisturizer afterwards.
got it.
So if you guys
Interesting.
try it, let us know what you think
Yeah.
of snail mucin.
Yeah.
Mhm. I like it in a serum better than a cream. I think it works better as a serum.
Interesting. Okay, so another popular ingredient I've seen is rice water.
Yes,
You
that
know
is all over for skin, for hair. I've seen it on TikTok.
Mhm. My husband swears that he doesn't age because of this when he cooks rice, the steam from the rice.
Oh.
That's his anti-aging product.
Well, rice water is composed of amino acids, starches, proteins, but it's really rich in antioxidants. And
Mhm,
antioxidants are so important for anti-aging because that is sort of your defense, your first line of defense against UV rays, environmental stressors, and they also help with strengthening the skin barrier. So
mhm.
it does have a lot of anti-inflammatory and anti-aging properties. People use it in Korea for not only their skin, but also their hair.
Oh.
So it leaves a film on the skin that
Mhm.
helps soften and moisturize it. So it's great for like dry, rough skin. It does the same thing to hair. So it sort of coats the hair shaft and can help reduce frizz and improve the strength of the hair follicles just because of that coating and add shine. Again, there's really no studies on
Mhm.
this. So this is just, centuries old tradition that's been around in Korea. And like I say, if it works, I can't argue with
Right,
success.
right.
It's definitely a safe DIY
I would try it.
if
I
you
would try
wanna
it for
do
my
it,
hair.
yeah. But, they say it also helps with brightening because it does have vitamin C as well as niacinamide in it, and so but
Interesting.
see, the thing is with these, I feel like we don't know exactly the dosage or the concentration
Mhm.
like we do if we were to formulate a skincare product, we know exactly how much
Right,
of
right.
these ingredients, we're putting in.
Yeah. Seems safer.
So that's the issue with DIYs.
What about red ginseng?
Yeah, so that is derived from the Panox ginseng plant,
Interesting.
and it's been used for centuries in the Asian medicine,
Mhm.
not only for its health purposes, but also skincare benefits.
Yeah, it's just interesting that, I've definitely heard of it for health benefits and now putting it in skincare, what are the benefits of that?
It's very rich in ginsenides,
Say that one more time.
ginsenides, ginsenosides, ginsenosides.
What are we talking
It
about?
is found in red ginseng, and
Okay,
it's really been shown to protect the skin again from environmental stressors like UV radiation and pollution, which helps prevent or slow down premature aging and
okay.
damage to the skin barrier. It also has anti-inflammatory properties, so it helps with you know calming and soothing the skin, nourishing the skin. So a lot of anti-aging is just trying to protect our bodies and our skin from all this damage that we're exposed to:
Yes,
stress, UV rays, pollution, all these things. And so that's when the antioxidant factor becomes important in a lot of these, traditional health boosting remedies that we see. We have the most amazing podcast community, and we want to thank you for being such a loyal listener. To thank you for being a fan of the show, we want to extend 15% off exclusively to podcast listeners. Just use code SUMMER15. That's SUMMER15. This is a special discount we're only giving to our podcast listeners to get 15% off your favorite products at AziMDSkincare.com. Don't forget to tag me in your stories. I love to see you glow.
what about bakuchiol?
So that's a big one.
It's my
There's been
favorite.
actually a lot of studies that show it's similar to retinol, but we still have more data on retinoids than we do bakuchiol. But it's designed as more of a gentle form of retinol because it does help with skin texture, it helps with pigmentation, and helps with cellular renewal. It's plant based.
Yes, yes.
And I think that's a great option if you're one of these people that just cannot tolerate retinoids, then bakuchiol is a good option. I find when you combined bakuchiol with retinoids, you're actually going to enhance the result of both because they have a
Yes.
synergistic effect, but you're also going to reduce the side effects, which is
Yeah.
why I think Lift and Renew serum, because it has both,
Mhm.
it tends to have less side effects. And we've
Yes.
done head to head studies with Lift and Renew and tretinoin, which is the prescription retin A, and it shows it's similar efficacy, but with much fewer side effects. And I think
Yes.
part of it is because of the soothing and calming effects of bakuchiol.
I love the Lift and Renew. It
Yeah.
feels really good on my skin.
And it has that bakuchiol oil, and it just
Mhm.
kinda gives your skin this soft glow
Yeah.
when you put it on. So I'm a fan.
Okay, so what about tea tree?
Yeah, tea tree oil is actually a favorite amongst the, Asian markets because it has a lot of antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory effects. So it's great, for acne, for compromised skin that may be prone to infections. And so a lot of products incorporate it into
Yeah.
their formulas for those reasons. I wouldn't recommend like taking raw tea tree oil and like putting it on because it could potentially cause reactions. But when it's formulated into skincare products,
Mhm.
then they're taking out all the the bad, potentially bad aspects of it and formulating it in the right percentage and the right forms to have the most benefits without all the potential side effects.
Sure. Now, these are a lot of ingredients. Are they found in one product or are these just like the popular ingredients found amongst all of their
I
products?
find these are the ingredients that we have adopted in the Western world from, the Asian markets and have been really popular here in the
Mhm.
US. So I thought these would be good to highlight because you may
Yeah.
be seeing them in some of our products now.
Oh, okay. So let's talk a little bit about the difference in beauty standards, like plastic
Yes.
surgery.
Yes, the plastic surgery in Korea, I mean, I look at some of those before and afters, and wow, they are so dramatic.
It's like a whole new person.
It's like a whole new person. The after it doesn't even look like the before.
Mhm.
So I think that there are very different, standards that we have here than they do. Although it's a beautiful culture, and I think that we tend to embrace beauty in all different
Yeah.
forms. But
Mhm.
generally speaking, in the US, we favor, or the demand, I should say, not that we favor, but the demand is for, high cheekbones.
Mhm.
The consumers want, more defined jawlines, where it's sort of the opposite
Mhm.
there. They don't want super high cheekbones.
They
They
like
don't
the
want,
round.
they do, yeah. They don't really want a defined angular jawline.
Mhm.
They want more of like a natural, young, sort of innocent appearance to the face, almost like for them, the youthfulness is more like before a teenager starts
Mhm.
to develop and lose their facial fat and become more
Yes.
angular. That's sort of the goal, or the demand, I should say,
Mhm.
that that population has. So, for
Yes.
example, they like, really fair, even colored skin, large
Mhm.
eyes, they
Mhm.
want small noses, and they want more of a V-shaped jawline as opposed to, that angular jawline we
Yes.
want here.
Yeah.
And so I think our, demands and outlooks have changed. I think we've become better at embracing different, appearances and looks.
Mhm.
But in general, they seek something a little bit different than we do.
Yes. I will say the light complexion with, like, the cherry red lips is
Yes.
really beautiful.
It is really
It
pretty,
is.
yeah. Even their makeup standards are different. They
Mhm.
want something very soft, like you said, enhancing the eyes and the lips.
Yes.
Whereas for us, we're so into
I know.
contouring. That's a huge thing here, contouring your nose,
Mhm.
contouring the jawline. Everyone's looking for that snatched
Yes.
jawline here. But they're not really into that. They're
No.
more into that soft, less angular appearance that is, prized in the West, but not so much in the East.
Yes.
But it's fun to see, it's fun to see across cultures what is different. But I would say the one thing that is similar in both cultures is that goal of being more symmetrical. We all know that everybody is asymmetrical to different degrees.
Yes.
But if we can, try to make one side look a little bit more like the other side,
Mhm.
that is considered attractive in both
Yes.
cultures.
So thank you for giving me my side back.
Yeah. Speaking of, well, the problem is we both have the same good side.
Yeah.
So
No.
this is going to be an ongoing
Your
battle.
good side's both sides.
No, it's not. Especially today. I'm not feeling it.
No, stop. Okay, let's move on here. What about injectables? I feel like was it Redensity or RHA that was really popular? Did it start?
I think we have a question coming up on this.
Okay, you're right. It is one of our questions. So let's just jump into Ask Dr. Ozzy. It's a segment where we ask your questions, our listeners, and Dr. Shrazi answers
Yes,
them.
I love this part. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to check out our Instagram, More Than a Pretty Face Podcast, or you can just email your questions directly to more than a pretty face podcast at gmail.com.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Ozzy. My aunts always talk about wanting pale skin. We're Filipino. Why do you think this is? Are there any healthy ways to achieve a lighter complexion without harsh chemicals?
Yeah, I don't understand the whole fascination, with
Mhm.
that culture is, and that's why they're so protective of their skin too. Again, the beauty standard is that porcelain, light skin that's been unweathered by any sun. Whereas here, everyone wants to be tan and they're
Yes.
trying to get sun damage out there, trying to get darker. So it's interesting. I think that, well, sun protection is the biggest factor, right? So UVA, and particularly UVA rays, because those are the tanning rays. So
Mhm.
you want to use a broad spectrum sunscreen and really try to stay out of the sun, because that is really one of the best ways to get that unweathered, more even toned skin. But in terms of lightening agents, you have to be careful. I would say the safest way is to use something like azelaic acid,
Mhm.
which is a gentle exfoliant, but it does block tyrosinase activity, which is the enzyme that produces melanin.
Melanin.
That's what gives your skin pigment, and it is a gentle ingredient, so it's not gonna be anything that will harm your skin, I guess, in any way, but that would be a good one, I think, in terms of a ingredient that if you're looking for, a lighter complexion, you would do.
Yeah.
You could also do hydroquinone, but you have to be really careful with that because it is powerful and you don't want to use it just, on and on and on because you can run into problems if you use too much of it. And so we have a whole episode on lightening hyperpigmentation if you guys want to go back and listen to that. But I would say for somebody like you, azelaic acid.
Yeah. I know it's not my question, but my in-laws, my husband and his family are all Filipino, and I don't see that for them. They very much embrace whatever color they are and love the sun. So for me, I feel like it's people always have something that they want that they don't have.
That's
Like
so true.
growing up, I love, love, love tan skin. I wanna be tan
Yeah.
and, curly hair, and I have straight, pale, straight hair, pale skin. So
Yeah.
I think just embracing your beauty and what God gave you or, whoever, how you were made, just your confidence is what makes you even more beautiful.
That's true because when I moved to Kentucky, I was a skinny brown
Mhm.
girl and all the white girls, I wanted to be white like them. I thought that was so beautiful. And
Mhm.
they would go tanning because they wanted to get dark.
Yeah.
And I would slather so much sunscreen on because I wanted to be light. And so I was in the shade and they
Yep.
were tanning because we were trying to be like each other.
Yes.
So I thought that was really funny. But yes, I agree. I think beauty comes in so many different, colors and shapes and sizes. And I am loving this notion that I feel like we're seeing more and more of just embracing all different types of beauties and features. And
Yes.
so I have people that come in and they want, something that I'm like, really? That's you want to change that? Because I
Yeah.
think that's what makes you really
Mhm.
unique and beautiful.
Yes.
So I love that.
Our next question is from Carissa from Instagram.
Mhm.
She said, "Hi, Dr. Ozzy. I've been seeing videos on how to get injectable glass skin lately on TikTok. Can you explain the risks and benefits of this procedure? It seems really big in Korea."
Well, it's now in the US
It's really big here
because we
too.
didn't have it, and so Allergan recently came out with an injectable
Mhm.
moisturizer. Well, it's an injectable that is composed of hyaluronic acid, but the hyaluronic acid is not the same as the hyaluronic acid in other fillers. It's not
Mhm.
really designed to volumize the face, but
Right.
it's really designed to increase the water content of the skin. It's injected just below the skin level or just at the dermal level. So just below the surface of the skin in tiny little injections. I'll show a video on the Instagram page, but it's almost like water.
Yes.
You
Mhm.
put it on and it just disperses
Put it in.
so evenly. Yeah, you put
Yeah.
it in because you can't put it on your face,
No.
it won't get through. And the patients have really loved it.
Yes.
And it lasts for about 6 months. And it's almost like a built in moisturizer. So,
Yeah.
glass skin, I feel like when people use that term, it just means you've got this beautiful, hydrated, plump skin. And I
Mhm.
think you'll find that with the injectable hyaluronic acid. Now, another treatment is aqua gold,
Yes.
which is something that we do in the office. And it's this almost like a micro needling device. It's got these little tiny needles that go into the skin. And then we put little cocktails in the container and we stamp it into the skin. And we
Yeah.
can use, hyaluronic acid mixed in with Botox because that helps with pores,
Mhm.
a little bit of PRP, maybe some exosomes, and it delivers it very superficially into the skin.
And your skin looks
Yeah,
amazing.
so it's great to do, like, right
Yes.
before an event because there's not much downtime, the needles are really, really
Mm-mm.
tiny.
Yeah, it's not painful.
It's
You don't
not
even have to
painful,
numb.
but there is actually an Asian company called Cure.
I've seen
Have you seen
this.
that? Where they have
Yes.
their version of micro infusion that you can do
Yes.
at, your own home,
I was gonna ask you your
and
thoughts on
I've
that.
tried it, I have a video on it, and, I think it's not bad, it's kinda painful.
Really?
Well, you have to be really ginger with it, it's just
Yeah.
like tiny little pokes into the
Really
skin.
ginger with
Yeah,
it.
really
That's
ginger
cute.
with it.
I've never heard you say that before.
So, yeah. So, yeah, it comes with its own serum. So if they that's sort of the aqua gold version of at home.
Mhm.
So
Well,
I
sorry to cut you off. I really, really, really love Deanna's been getting really good results with doing photo rejuvenation and Skin Vive together, and you're,
yes.
like, glowing at 1 month.
Yeah, so you
People
can't
want
combine them. A lot of people
yes.
think that you can't combine the 2, and I know there's, like, some forms out there that says you can't do lasers and the Skin Vive at the same time, but we find that it actually works really well together, and
Mhm.
we would do the laser first and then the injectable right after.
Yes,
So
yeah,
combination treatments always are better than sometimes solo treatments.
yes.
Yeah. Well, this was such a fun episode. Thank you guys so much for oh. What? I was just saying. What are we
I've been wanting to use this today. It's a
I
gift
wasn't
for
even
you.
raveling, I was wrapping it up.
I know, I just
That's
couldn't find the
total
right
misuse of
time.
the button. That's a total misuse of the button.
But isn't it great?
It is great.
This is our
Wow.
new toy for the show. Anytime that you're just
I wanna know whose voice is on
Oh,
that.
you know whose voice that is.
Alright,
Okay.
guys.
I just
Well,
wanted to end it with a highlight.
on that note
Thank you so much for listening, you guys. Please keep your questions coming at More Than a Pretty Face Podcast on Instagram.
I just want to say how appreciative I am to your listenership and so grateful for your support. It's because of you that the podcast keeps going. And if you don't know what it means, then you need to go back and listen to all the other episodes to
Yes.
figure out what that means.
Have a great day, you
Bye,
guys.
guys. Until next time.